Welcome to the Songwriting Lab, the podcast that tells you the winning formulas of hit songs. I'm Sound of Vim, a songwriter-producer from Singapore, and this show is catered to songwriters and music producers. If that's you, you're in the right place. Today we are looking at yet another Grammy Award-winning song. It's really soulful and it's packed with songwriting lessons. Luther is the song we're putting under the lens. Written and sung by Kendrick Lamar and also featuring SZA, this song recently won Record of the Year. It did get nominated for Song of the Year, but narrowly missed out to someone else whose name rhymes with stylish. Wanna guess who? Let's not get distracted though. If you haven't listened to Luther the song yet, you absolutely should. It's a love ballad that's so romantic, and its lyrics have such a positive vibe. Both Lamar and SZA are rap singing because they're R&B singers. And their chemistry, oh man, it's so hot. The song's production is so clever and it's smoothly done. The more I listen to this song, man, the more I love it. So I'll place my bets that it will grow on you too. Before I get carried away, here's what we can learn from this song. I'll state them first before I go on to explain each one. Firstly, lyrics that paint a compelling story with metaphors and consistent themes. Number 2, using drops and breaks to add tension and expectation. Number 3, blending samples into a modern production. Number 3 sounds really interesting if you ask me. Okay, let's dive in. First up, lyrics with a compelling story. To summarize the whole story, Lamar and SZA are both expressing their love for their partner. And despite the challenges of life, they're saying they are committed and they are intimate. SZA sings my favorite lyric line in the pre-chorus. In this world, concrete flowers grow. Man, concrete flowers is such a nice combo of opposite words. This kind of metaphor that pairs opposites instantly deepens emotion in a line. I wished I thought of that. In verse 1, Lamar uses a lot of religious terms which points to his faith as a Christian. He sings Roman numeral 7, which represents perfection or completion. So is he saying his partner completes him? Another line, I'll take your enemies in front of God, introduce them to the light, hit them strictly with the fire. What's he saying? He wants to protect his partner. He's singing about justice. Also, there's no cuss words in this song, which probably helped this song get even more people listening to it than if it had cuss words. Verse 2 lyrics or the duet lyrics are really sex-laden, but the imagery also points to them being celebrities, having wealth, and most of all, emotional intimacy. Let's move on. Number 2, there's a few drops and breaks in this song, but they're done well because they don't lose the listener. The first drop is in verse 1 when Lamar sings the word fire. Then the music almost stops entirely, except the bass rhythm continues. And Lamar goes fa 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 fa. This stop strip of vocal and bass makes the word fire hit harder in a typical hip-hop fashion. It's dramatic and makes you stop to listen. Another prominent break is just before the chorus. After SZA's pre-chorus, you hear a vocal go, if this world were... It doesn't even drop the word mine. That's a 2-second pause there. And I call this a pregnant pause because we, the listeners, have been enjoying everything up to now and we're waiting for something to happen. You hear strings come in, then the chorus hits. All these drops and pauses in the song really do give a great contrast to the constant drum beats going on. Hey, hang on, why is this song titled Luther when it's a love ballad? And this segues nicely into our third point. Luther, the song title, is really referring to Luther Vandross, the late American R&B singer who got big in the 80s and 90s. Luther samples the song If This World Were Mine which is a 1987 classic love ballad by Vandross and Sherilyn, which is also a cover of the original song written and sung by Marvin Gaye in 1967. Yes, all that history for you. You hear clear samples of both Vandross and Sherilyn's smooth vocals singing "If This World Were Mine," sprinkled across Lamar's song. And Luther Vandross is really one of Lamar's favourite artists. So when Lamar's team finally got the clearance to use the sample, they felt it significant enough to honour Vandross's legacy by naming the song after him. In their Grammy acceptance speech, Soundwave, the producer, even paid homage to Vandross.
First and foremost, let's give a shout out to the late great Luther Vandross.
If you compare the production in both Vandross and Lamar's songs, there's a lot of similarities, so I'll start with what's different. Vandross' song feels a lot slower, whereas Luther uses a modern trap beat, programmed using the 808 drum machine, as well as a rhythmic synth bass to keep the momentum going. On a subtle level, there's other effects, like synths. Right at the beginning of the song, there's a soft guitar intro. And what stayed the same? Lamar's team reproduced the same instrument sounds from the original song. That is the smooth electric guitar, the beautiful strings that were so signature in Vandross' song, and even the same chords. They really built on Vandross' song and made another love song. Everything in Luther stays in the same emotional vein. Alright, let's conclude our discussion here. Songwriters and producers, let's recap. Using lyrics to paint a compelling story. Using breaks and pauses as a dramatic device. Using lyrics to paint a compelling story. Using drops and breaks as a dramatic device. We've come to the end of this podcast episode. Once again, I'm Sound of Vim. Thanks for tuning in to the Songwriting Lab, where we break down the winning formulas of hit songs. If you found this episode helpful or enjoyable, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Till next time,